One of the most important events of the last century is drawing world leaders to a celebration in Europe. Saturday is the 30th anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall and the beginning of German reunification. U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo has just arrived in Berlin to take part in this week's events. Central European presidents will then headline the official ceremonies recognizing the demolition of the wall back in 1989. Our very own Luckie is in Germany covering this historic occasion. He joins us live in Berlin with more on the U.S.'s role in this reunification process. Lane, good morning.
Good morning to you, Erica. Right now and this week, panel discussions are taking place here in Berlin, looking back on the 2+4 agreement that spelled out the path to reuniting East and West Germany. Now, those were the negotiations between the two German states and the four superpowers, the U.S., the UK, France, and the Soviet Union. And one of the key players in supporting that plan moving forward was U.S. Ambassador Robert Kimmitt. Now, he served in the Bush administration from 1991 until 1993, and he was the first envoy to a united Germany in a half-century. He was working following the fall of the wall, and it was very personal for him. Like 20% of Americans, Kimmitt actually traces his heritage back to Germany. And here's who he says deserves the most credit for bringing down the wall. Take a listen.
The wall came down because of the aspirations and bravery of Germans on both sides of the wall, but particularly those brave East Germans and East Berliners who stood up throughout the entire Cold War period with real intensification of their efforts during 1989, leading to the fall of the wall. So I would say, let's not think about world leaders as much as courageous people on the ground for bringing the wall down.
Now, since the death of President George H.W. Bush less than a year ago, historians are revisiting and analyzing his leadership during the peaceful revolution here in Germany.
I think he was absolutely integral to the successful result that we saw on October 3rd, 1990. Again, a free, independent Germany united within NATO. I thought it was quite striking. The German Chancellor Angela Merkel, who when he was president was actually a young cabinet officer under Helmut Kohl, made the effort to come to the funeral and basically said, without George H.W. Bush, Germany would not have unified as quickly and as successfully. So again, the Germans were in the lead, but if you look at the single person with the greatest role in bringing out this strategic result of benefit not only to Germany, but the U.S., Europe, and the world, I think it was George H.W. Bush.
Ambassador Kimmitt returns to Germany about a half dozen times every year. He says despite all the changes in the world, he remains very optimistic about the U.S.-German relationship. Live in Berlin, Germany, I'm Lane Luckie.
Lane, thank you so much. You can watch more of his interviews with the ambassador just by heading over to our In Focus page on KLTV and KTRE.com. From the homepage, you'll click on the Community tab, and there you'll find our special coverage link.